Welcome back, Truth Seeker. We got to do another video about this Spokane fire that began on August 1st. Last night, late August 3rd, they announced they had arrested the perp, and people are eating it up that he's a felon who killed his father and was released from prison in Arizona. Last night, they gave us his middle initial, F. And today, almost every story has the full middle name. FORREST. Mr. FORREST started the forest fires, what they want us to believe. And today's August 4th, 2026. All the media covering the perp who's blamed for setting the blaze, the most significant of the three fires in Spokane that did the most damage, the one that started where Old Trails Road and Euclid Road meet. And a lot of people aren't realizing that today, August 4th, is the 137th anniversary of the Great Spokane Fire, the third fire in 1889. The three fires burned up Seattle, Ellensburg, and Spokane. And again, think about three fires. We got three fires in Spokane. Big climax, getting the attention on the 137th anniversary. If you're new here, Gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. Again, been teaching about this, writing books about this for 13 years this month. I started in August of 2013. And again, I learned about this from Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages, the practice of coding numbers into words. I've never found anything more enlightening. We've been using this knowledge to take advantage of rig sports, rigged markets, not get taken by the lies in the news, the propaganda. When I found this information, I never knew that this was something that was literally going on every single day. But by investigating, it became very clear it was. And again, there's four base ciphers of the English language. The most simple is just the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. And that cipher Spokane equals 81, like how the fire began on 8/1, August 1st. And look up this perp. He supposedly killed his dad on October 11th. That's the day leaving 81 days left in the year. And look into Gonzaga, the Jesuit university in Spokane, because construction began on that campus in 1881. And the reason it's important is because the Jesuit founder, Ignatius Loyola, one of his well-remembered quotes is, "Go forth and set the world on fire." And I've been talking about Jesuit fire rituals for a long time. When Lahaina burned up in Maui, the governor was out of town. Remember, Governor Green was out of town, and the acting lieutenant governor was in charge, who was Jesuit educated, and there was a major Jesuit ritual with that. And again, there's been a lot of these stories, covered a lot, but Lahaina is one that's still fresh in a lot of people's minds. Anyhow, there's four base ciphers of the English language: alphabetic order, reverse alphabetic order, both orders with numerology applied. And his full name, Aaron Forrest Farinacci. And remember, Farinacci is a common baker's name in Italy. Again, the Great London Fire was blamed on a baker. The Great Chicago Fire began at address 137. So here we are on the 137th anniversary. But Aaron Forrest Farinacci, 137, and again, from the Great Spokane Fire of August 4th, 1889, to this getting a lot of attention. Again, the day after the evening of the arrest of the supposed perp, who has one Facebook friend and one Facebook post, and it's him in a shirt that says Italia, like the Jesuits served the Roman Catholic Church in Italy. But yeah, 137 years to the day. CNN didn't cover this last night, right? So this screenshot down here, CNN, and no doubt paying tribute to the hoops team at Gonzaga, what the city's known for. Gonzaga and their basketball team, they got to give us a melted basketball hoop. But yeah, like I said, the founder of Gonzaga, Father Joseph Cataldo. The fire began 137 days after his birthday anniversary. And again, in the four base ciphers, you can see that Aaron Forrest Farinacci. Standout numbers here. We talked about the 137. The 353 is important. That's the 71st prime. Gonzaga equals 71. Catholic equals 71. From the fire start August 1st to the anniversary of his father's murder is 71 days later. The 106 stands out because what do I educate about? When sports championships come, tragedy comes. Remember, Seattle suffered the 6 Rivers flooding right before Phillip Rivers came into town, coming out of retirement and playing Seattle 6 days after his birthday, where the Seahawks won the game with 6 field goals. And remember, that flooding happened 52 days before the rigged Super Bowl that was synced with the Pope. Flood 52. When you spell out 652, the first act of weather warfare in the world, the first admitted act of weather warfare in the world, it goes back to the year 1952. Look it up. It's the Lynmouth flood of August 15th, which is the Jesuit order's birthday, the day they were born in Paris, France. You know, we talked about this many times before. But, yeah, and for anyone who doesn't know, the Super Bowl is rigged in sync with the Pope. Again, Seattle's gone to the last 3 Super Bowls anytime there's a new Pope. And Seattle equals 19. Seattle improved to 19-19 in the postseason, exactly 19 weeks after the Pope's birthday, advancing to the Super Bowl where they were up 19-0. And that followed Indiana winning the college championship, which is the 19th state. And the link between Indiana and Seattle is that the first Seahawks team was the Miami Seahawks, which is where Indiana won the football championship. And if you look up what Miami means, it's a tribe that's in the Indiana area. But the Miami Seahawks folded and became the Baltimore Colts. They're now the Indianapolis Colts. And Gonzaga had a little history in Indianapolis recently too, didn't they? They lost to Baylor right after Elgin Baylor, Jesuit educated at Seattle U, died. And Gonzaga and Baylor were supposed to play that season before the championship in Indiana in a neutral site game that was canceled due to Cooties 19, which was simulated before it happened by a bunch of Jesuits with Event 201. But anyway, again, all this stuff is one big script. It's all one big sick joke. And you know, about Seattle equaling 44, Spokane just burned up 44 days after the Pope's birthday. 44 days before the Pope's September 14th birthday. And from September 27th, the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church, which is also Seattle U, the other Jesuit school in Washington State's birthday, from September 27th to the fire was exactly 44 weeks. So, and remember, Seattle's the 206 area code. This fire just happened 206 days from Bob Ferguson's upcoming birthday. In 1889, Seattle burned up, then Ellensburg, then Spokane. And the sheriff in charge, his name also equals 206. And again, if you missed last night's video or this morning's video, we'll recap again more about that sheriff. But yeah, I'm bringing all this up about Seattle because you see the 106 in his name? I mean, the Seahawks did win the 106th NFL season. And Seattle, WA is 106. It's also 137 in reverse, like those 3 fires started 137 years ago. It's also 56, like Society of Jesus, like how Super Bowl 60, which they won, was the 56th of the modern era. And it's also 25 like Pope, like how the last 3 times there was a new Pope, Seattle went to the Super Bowl. Pope's also 56. All roads lead to Rome. And then the 214 is interesting because that's Valentine's Day, big Catholic day, and that is the upcoming Super Bowl date. And this fire did begin 197 days before the Super Bowl on 214, and 197 is the 45th prime, and the Super Bowl's on the 45th day of the year. So we'll keep this in mind because the NFL season's about to get underway. But this is what they do, you guys. Rigged news, rigged sports. The Rigged World Cup, which we gave you the championship match nearly a year in advance. Told you why it was going to be Argentina-Spain. We were all over Messi bathing Yamal way before anybody else was. Then we showed you how the whole hantavirus hoax was really just a tribute to the upcoming Rigged World Cup. You know, the ship that went from Argentina to Spain that was hosted out of the Netherlands. The first team Argentina beat in the World Cup. The first team that Spain beat in the World Cup. Not to mention hantavirus was discovered in 78, the year that Argentina won their first World Cup, beating Netherlands. Again, scripted news, scripted sports, all day, every day. But yeah, Spain won their 38th game all-time in the World Cup to become the champion. Champion equals 38, but so does fire. And don't forget, this fire in Spokane just started 38 days after modern Freemasonry's birthday. And modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation. And like I said, it started 44 weeks after the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. 44 weeks is 308 days, 308. 0 is a null value in numerology, so it is a lot like 38. But yeah, I mean, instead of, you know, the average person might struggle with taking in that much information because, Again, the average American, low processing power, low IQ, probably around room temperature, poor diet, poor everything pretty much. It's all by design. It's easier to rule over a society of morons. But yeah, the 137 piece, that one people can probably take home. Just let them know. You don't have to give them the math breakdown. Just let them know. In this practice of letters and numbers and words, the dude's name equals 137, not to mention his middle name's Forrest, and he's blamed for a forest fire. And again, everyone has to cover it for the 137th anniversary of the Great Spokane Fire, 137 years to the day. This is pretty much every major network's top story. And again, the Jesuits, known for the quote, "Go forth and set the world on fire." This one just happened to start 137 days after the Gonzaga founder's birthday anniversary. Who started founding the campus, started its construction and eventual completion. It began in 1881. So there's a lot more to this. I've covered it in other videos. For people who, have watched them all, I'm not going to revisit everything, but I do want people to also realize about the Jesuits. Again, look into the history of the FBI and the CIA. Actually, just look into the whole history of the federal government. The land where D.C. was gifted by a wealthy Catholic named Francis Pope. It was once called Rome on the Potomac. The Jesuits set up camp there before the feds were there, before it was named the Masonic City, which was because of George Washington, who was installed after Georgetown, the first Jesuit university, was established. But yeah, Aaron Farinacci. Without a lot of the news last night just had the first and last name. That's 265, this sheriff who gave us the report of the arrest. He attended the 265th session of the FBI National Academy. Again, FBI, totally Catholic from the beginning, just like the CIA, just like Washington, D.C. And, I mean, come on, the arrest on the 265th day of the Superior General's age, the leader of the Jesuits. So, and again, there's a lot more to this, but not to be overbearing. So, what I want to do is I want to make some calls to the authorities. Occasionally we'll call one of these authorities and we'll get a good listener who takes notes. And we've never gotten a call back, and I don't anticipate we'll get a call back, but the point is we're planting seeds. The world's not going to change enough unless enough seeds are planted. And you just never know. If you plant those seeds with the right person, who knows? Maybe the greatest truth tree ever will grow. So, yeah, we're gonna make some phone calls today. It's been a minute since we did any calls. I think I'm going to have to make a trip out to Gonzaga here when the school year starts up. We're going to have to bring out the loudspeaker. You know how it goes. Some students love it, some hate it, but it's going to be the most important lesson they get all year, and it's going to be totally free. And what else is nice is there, copies of my book, unless they've been removed, but there were a number of these copies floating around at the free Gonzaga library because we gave them a whole bunch of free copies back in 2020. When we warned them exactly everything that was coming before it happened. Again, it was given out at the Gonzaga campus why the scam pandemic would end when the year of the tiger came around, exactly what happened, and why you didn't want to get those pokey dokes. We had it all figured out before any of it happened. So, shout out to Tara Like Sarah, 99 cents. Appreciate it. Every dollar counts. Let's see here. We're going to call the sheriff's office first. Oh, snap. What is going on? Okay.
Thank you for calling the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. If you are calling to report an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you wish to report a crime that is not in progress, please press 1 to be connected to Crime Check. If you reside in the city of Spokane, press 2 to be connected to the Spokane Police Department. If you reside in the city of Spokane Valley, press 3 to be connected to the Spokane Valley Police Department. If you wish to obtain a copy of a report, please press 4. If you are inquiring about our civil paper process or the status of an eviction, press 5 to be transferred to our civil department. If you are looking for a collision report, please visit wsp.wa.gov on the web. For any other questions or to speak with an officer, please remain on the line. Press 9 if you would like to repeat this menu. You have reached the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Our hours of operation are 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. For non-emergency and crime reporting, please call Crime Check at 509-456-2233. You have reached this message because we are experiencing high call volumes or our office is currently closed.
It just hung up on me. Wow. All right, let's try out the mayor's office. We'll call the sheriff back here after we make the rounds. All right. That's funny their address is 808 because after the Lahaina fires, there was a fire in Spokane, you know. Remember, the Lahaina fires happened on 8/8 and 8/9. And, of course, 8/9 is, you know, big Jesuit holy day. But 8/8 is the day in history that they got the 808 area code. It's a little bit interesting.
Thank you for calling the office of Mayor Brown. Your call is important to us. We're currently assisting other callers or away from the office. Please leave your name, phone number, and a detailed message, and we will return your call as soon as possible. You may also contact Mayor Brown by email. Her address is mayor@SpokaneCity.org. We appreciate the opportunity to serve you and look forward to speaking to you soon.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, my name is Zachary Hubbard. I am a local author who is educated on the campus of Gonzaga numerous times. Copies of my book, Number Games, are on that campus. And the things I talk about are things the founders of this country talked about, such as Jefferson and Adams, who died together on the same day. And that was them warning about the Jesuit order, a force that could subvert the nation. And of course, Gonzaga is one of the nation's 27 remaining Jesuit universities. I bring this up because their founder, Ignatius Loyola, is known for the phrase, "Go forth and set the world on fire." And the funny thing is here we are, it's August 4th. All of the national news is focused on the supposed perp who set the fire, the guy with the one Facebook friend and one Facebook post, which shows him in a t-shirt that says Italy, like where the Jesuits are headquartered out of. And his name is Aaron FORREST Farinacci, when Farinacci is a common name for a baker in Italy. Forrest set the forest fire. But anyway, what I educate about is this ancient forgotten practice of coding numbers into words. And the name Aaron FORREST Farinacci equates to 137. And here we are on the 137th anniversary of the Great Spokane Fire of August 4th, 1889, which happened right after Gonzaga was established. And not only that, but the founder of Gonzaga, Joseph Cataldo, from his March 17th birthday anniversary to the fire, August 1st, that was 137 days later. And there's always been rumors that the Great Chicago Fire was started by Jesuits. They say it's just a conspiracy theory. You know, they tend to say that a lot about things that are actually true, right? It's just a conspiracy theory. But anyway, the Great Chicago Fire did start at the address 137. Jesuits have been blamed for the Great London Fire, which was blamed on a baker. I'm just seeing some major parallels here. And, in this practice of coding numbers into words where the perp's name equals 137, Spokane equals 81. Fire began on 8/1. Joseph Cataldo began establishing Gonzaga in 1881. Reading about the perp, everybody's fallen for the story that he was sentenced to prison for killing his father. Supposedly he killed his father on October 11th, the day leaving 81 days in the year. This is what I educate about, the rituals in numbers and how all of this stuff goes back to Kabbalah and, that term, the Cabal. And we were warned about a Cabal by the founders, but because we go to, 13 years of public school where we don't really learn anything about anything that matters, they kind of leave out all this stuff, right? I don't remember getting the lesson on, Jefferson and Adams warning about the Jesuits potentially coming out of suppression and subverting the nation, even though that was a very warranted discussion. I remember learning about Martin Luther and the 95 Theses, and maybe if we did learn about that, we might realize why Martin Luther King Jr. was killed on the 95th day of the year, a year to the day of speaking out about the U.S. military-industrial complex. Anyway, you're the mayor's office, so I assume there's some intelligent people there. For example, I went to the Yale campus once upon a time and talked to the highly intelligent students there. They really got what I was talking about. Gonzaga campus, not quite Ivy League. It was more of a 50-50 thing. So, Yale versus Gonzaga, let's keep it real. But the point is, intelligent people get this, so I would hope there's intelligent people working in the mayor's office and my words are not landing on deaf ears. Because it's quite obvious what really happened here. I don't think the guy with one Facebook friend and one Facebook post with an image of him with a dookie eating grin, if you catch my drift, with his Italy t-shirt on, I don't think that's who did it, Mr. Forrest. By the way, there's a hot-selling book in the area right now, Prosser on Fire, about the man who killed Judge James Lawless back in 74. He also got released from prison before he burned down Prosser and ended his fire streak on Rome's birthday before blowing up Judge James Lawless, who went to Gonzaga. I see some major parallels here. People being released and then crazy things happening. That Waukesha Christmas parade tragedy the other year, the Jesuit-educated attorney general.
You are approaching the maximum length for a recording. Finish your recording after the tone.
Again, that Jesuit-educated attorney general released that man from prison, and he went and drove over the Christmas parade. So, again, there's something suspicious going on here, and it looks like we're lining up patsies for some sick, demented rituals, the kind of stuff Jefferson and Adams talked about.
You have reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. Your message has been sent. If you would like to try an extension, you may do so now.
It's so, that's the one thing that's happened over the years, too, of calling in. It just gets harder and harder to talk to anybody. Let's call Michael Baumgartner. Michael Baumgartner's the rep for Spokane. DC office might be closed. We'll try real quick. If not, we'll call the West Coast office. It's after 6 on the East Coast. These guys got banker's hours. However, we did call the midnight one time. Remember that one time we called the White House? They picked up at like 1:30 a.m. East Coast. I was like, what the hell?
Thank you for calling the office of Congressman Michael Baumgartner.
All right, hold on. We'll call the one out here on the West Coast. They should still be open.
Hello, and thank you for calling the district office of Congressman Michael Baumgartner, serving the 5th Congressional District here in Eastern Washington. Your call is very important to us, and we aim to serve all of our constituents in a timely manner, so please listen carefully to the following options. The easiest way to send a message to the Congressman, request an appearance at a gathering or event, or request a meeting on a specific issue of concern is to visit his official website at baumgartner.house.gov. On this website, you will also find the latest information on the Congressman's positions and statements on various issues, recent press releases, as well as notifications about upcoming appearances, town halls, and other events. If you would like to leave a message to share your thoughts or concerns on an issue, please press 1. For help with a federal agency or to speak with a staff member, please press 2 and someone will be with you as soon as possible. Office of Congressman Baumgartner, this is Andrew.
Yes, just to confirm, this is the congressman who represents the city of Spokane, Washington?
Yes, Congressman Michael Baumgartner.
Okay. Has he looked into the fire that has happened there beginning August 1st?
Yes, he's invested quite a bit of time into site visits, meetings with first responders. He spent time Sunday afternoon over at the Emergency Operations Center, meeting with the governor and Mayor Brown and our various emergency operations leaders, law enforcement, firefighters, and so on.
Okay. Has he thought about the possibility of Jesuit involvement with the fire in light of Gonzaga University being in Spokane?
I don't think that's crossed his mind.
It should cross his mind because the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, you might be aware of this, he has the famous quote, "Go forth and set the world on fire." Are you aware of that?
I am, yes. I happen to be Catholic and familiar with the same.
Okay, so here's a few interesting things to think about. Are you aware that today is the 137th anniversary of the Great Spokane Fire of August 4th, 1889, the year that Ellensburg and Seattle also burned down?
I wasn't aware of that.
Today is the 137th anniversary. And the day the fire began, August 1st, that was 137 days after Joseph Cataldo's birthday anniversary, the founder of Gonzaga. He was born March 17th, 1837. 137 days after his birthday anniversary, the fire begins. And I mean, you're a Catholic, so you know what Spokane means, right?
I do.
It means sun people, right? Sun people. I mean, we could get the joke with the Jesuits. Their logo's the sun with the letters IHS inside for Jesus Hominum Salvator. Are you aware of the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words? Gematria?
Is there a particular policy that you have in mind or something you'd like to see the congressman do?
I would like to see the Jesuit order investigated. Agenda 2030, their conference, ended on September 27th, the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. Their fingerprints are also all over Agenda 21. And the goals in that are to greatly reduce consumerism and a lot of other things to curb carbon emissions. We all know how much more expensive life's becoming, and I can't wait to see my new insurance rates here in Washington State after the latest batch of fires. But the reason I'm asking you if you're familiar with Gematria is because the perp's name, by the way, you should look up the perp's Facebook page. He has one Facebook friend, and he has one Facebook post, and it's him smirking with a shirt on it that says Italy. His name is Aaron FORREST Farinacci, and that name equals 137. And what else is funny is there's a big way, and if you ignore his middle name, just Aaron Farinacci, like they put it out last night, that equals 256. I'm looking here at Sheriff John Noel, who attended the 256th FBI Academy. Excuse me, I misspoke. The man's name equals 265, and I'm looking at John Noel, who attended the 265th FBI National Academy. Funny enough, the arrest was announced on the 265th day of the Superior General's age, Arturo Sosa. And if you look into the history of both the FBI and the CIA, they both have Catholic and Jesuit origins in a major way, just like the entire federal city of D.C. does. So this is why this needs to be investigated, not some smirking, seemingly nobody. Aaron Farinacci with one Facebook friend and one Facebook post. That doesn't even look like a real profile. And what else is wild is if you look into supposedly he killed his father and was released from prison. That seems pretty weird to get out from a murder from so soon that happened in 2011. Supposedly he murdered his father October 10th, 2011, the day leaving 81 days left in the year. Like the fire began on 8/1. Like Gonzaga's establishment. The construction began in 1881. And in this gematria thing, Spokane equals 81. So what a day. And not to mention in the time of Leo, the only sun sign with Pope Leo at the helm. Again, something needs to be looked into in a major way, and it's the Jesuits that need to get looked into, not this obvious fake patsy, Mr. Forrest. I mean, give me a break. And you should look up his Facebook page and tell me you think that's real.
Well, thank you for bringing this to our attention. I'll take this information and add it to what we're aware of on these issues. And
as a Catholic, are you aware that Jefferson and Adams warned that if the Jesuits came out of suppression, they could subvert the nation, only for those two to die together on the same day, July 4th, 1826? And not to mention Monroe was also a critic, and he also died on July 4th, exactly 1826 days later.
Is there a particular federal policy you'd like to see enacted by the congressman?
I would like to see him investigate. I would like to see him investigate the Jesuit shenanigans and investigate this sheriff who went to that FBI academy. I know this might be tough for you as a Catholic yourself, but these institutions are Catholic, and all of this stuff looks Catholic. And like you said, you're very aware of the quote, "Go forth and set the world on fire." And understand, this isn't new. This is something I've been educating about for over a decade. I've spoken on the Gonzaga campus. Copies of my book are floating around that campus because I've given out 100 free copies at the campus. The Jesuits are running this nation into the ground.
Would you like the congressman to sponsor a policy that would expel the Jesuits from the United States? Or?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Okay.
That was just done in South America, actually, by a nation about 2 years ago. Yeah, they were suppressed for a reason.
Generally, you need to take your concepts and sort of formulate that into, policy that can be, worked on by members of Congress.
Do you think that's policy he's willing to work on and put before the body of the rest of Congress?
Well, are there members of the community that are there other members of the community that are requesting policies like this, or is it just?
I'm pretty sure everybody would be requesting if they knew. How many people know? Do you know about Event 201, sir, on October 18th, 2019? Are you aware of Event 201?
Well, I'm not aware of it, but what I'm particularly interested in is if there is specific federal policy that you're requesting be enacted related to the material that you're discussing.
What I'm saying is there's a major suppression on information. All we get is what we get on the nightly news, which is a bunch of trash and stuff that's not helpful at all. There needs to be real investigations, real understanding of history. I mean, come on, you know how it is. And you're 13. I'm sure you went to K through 12 here in the United States. Did we ever learn about Jefferson and Adams and their discussions about the Jesuits subverting the nation if they came out of suppression? I sure didn't get that in my school upbringing. That was left out of the history books. I didn't learn about John Surratt, the Jesuit who got away from the Lincoln assassination, and his mother was executed in his place, and he was protected by the Catholic Church for the rest of his life. That's completely left out of the history books. So again, we're talking about a subject that nobody knows about because it's purposefully being omitted and almost no one has a clue. But you good Catholics, some of you know, you'd be the perfect ones to speak up.
Well, what I would encourage you to do is to take a look at our website, track down the portion of the page that has the spot where you request or recommend federal legislation and provide the information that you've covered here and then specifically formulate that into federal policy concepts that can be worked on and communicate with us through that.
Okay. Well, I would like to see our congressman spearhead the movement to ban the Jesuits from the United States. We can turn Gonzaga into a homeless shelter for everyone who was displaced. That'd be a fair compensation for the moment. Again, this is not a joke, and you should look up Event 201. It took place October 18th, 2019. It was put on by Klaus Schwab, Jesuit-educated, former head of the World Economic Forum. It was the simulation of coronavirus on the same day the military World Games began in Wuhan, China, and we all know what that did for the nation, right? All the BS there and the lockdowns and the printing of money that's made everything super expensive. Everybody again, it's very obvious who's really behind these things, but nobody's talking about it in the media. Nobody's talking about it in Congress, and that needs to change in a major way. Otherwise, because again, you said, is anybody else trying to do this? No, hardly anyone is, because no one's doing any real research. They're turning on CNN or Fox News or whatever other BS news source and getting their head programmed back to your regularly scheduled programming and getting nothing useful out of those broadcasts. Some details about how many pounds of stuff they dropped to stop the fire. That's not the information we need. We need the history of what's really going on in this nation. But anyway, I appreciate you listening. I will look into proposing that policy, and I would love to see in the near future on C-SPAN him bringing it forth. I think, wow, somebody who actually listens and is doing the right thing. Amazing.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information you've provided. I look forward to staying in touch.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Bye-bye.
Well, at least he knew about the Ignatius quote as a good Catholic, go forth and set the world on fire. But yeah, I mean, the whole reason nobody knows anything about anything is because we all went to 13 years of slave school and they left out everything that mattered. All they taught us was the BS to program us to make us think, woo, we're the greatest, freest nation there ever was. Nope. That's your slave school programming. And again, like I said, we all know how the news is. You turn on the news, it's like, what? How is any of this information helping me? Here's this guy who's so sad. Listen to his sad story. Man, I just paid off my mortgage. That's the case if you get on the news. Like, it's meant to mock you. Poor guy just paid off his mortgage when mortgages are just, most people can't even afford a mortgage. He finally just paid it off and now his house is burnt down. Then they interview a family. We just had our newborn daughter. Things were already tough, but we're going to find a way. We appreciate your hopes and prayers. This information isn't helping. This isn't, this is sad stuff. This is just meant to make us go, oh my God, I feel terrible. Where's the Red Cross so I can send it to that Catholic organization so they can steal almost everything? Read the fine print on the Red Cross. Again, Red Cross, those are Templars, the old military order of the church. Well, what's it say in the fine print? 5% of the donation makes it to the actual people who need it. They keep the 95% for their bureaucracy. I mean, give me a break. Well, thank you, Tara. I'm glad you appreciate it. $3, I can almost afford to get out of my driveway with the cost of gas. Spokane is still a bit of a drive for me. I would like to get out there. I can't go out there. I'll go out there when the school year starts. I'll find a way to get out to Gonzaga for this year's school year. We're going to try the sheriff's office again. I didn't like that they didn't pick up. What are they too busy doing? Getting the latest federal commandments? Yeah, next time you talk about it, keep emphasizing his middle name's Forrest. They'll never get it. We'll laugh our asses off here back at the office. Keep saying Forrest. Forrest. We got him. Aaron Forrest.
Thank you for calling the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. If you are calling to report an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you wish to report a crime that is not in progress, please press 1 to be connected to Crime Check.
You know what? I'm just going to do it that way. I'm going to report a crime that's not in progress.
2 to be connected to the Spokane Police Department.
Here, we'll just do it this way.
In the city of Spokane Valley,
This is how I got to get through this. How we'll do it.
3 to be connected to the Spokane Valley Police Department. If you
we'll do it
wish
this
to
way.
obtain a copy of a report, please press 4. If you are inquiring about our civil paper process or the status of an eviction, press 5 to be transferred to our civil department. If you are looking for a collision report, please visit wsp.wa.gov on the web. For any other questions or to speak with an officer, please remain on the line. Press 9 if you would like to repeat this menu. You have reached the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Our hours of operation are 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. For non-emergency and crime reporting, please call Crime Check at 509-456-2737. 2233. You have reached this message because we are experiencing high call volumes. Or
It's going to disconnect me again. It's the same thing. So that way you can't even connect to them. All right, it's still really smoky out here. It's actually even worse today than it was yesterday. Yesterday I could faintly see the hills. Today I can't even see them. I can't even see all the way across the airport. I'm going to get a drink of water. If you guys would like to contribute, we'll try making some calls here in a little bit, but maybe they're just going to keep their phones off the hook. They got the perp, you guys. Job's done. They got Mr. Forrest who set the forest fire. One Facebook friend, one Facebook post. All right. I'll be right back. What I appreciate, though, is he acknowledged that he knew the quote. Yeah, he said, I do know that quote. I'm a Catholic. Yeah. Well, you shouldn't be surprised anybody answered. You usually do get the secretaries at the Congress people's office. I mean, almost any time I call a congressman's office, we end up talking to the secretary for a while. Those are the best people to talk to. But yeah, it really is hard to get a hold of anybody these days. We've noticed that over the years. Used to have a lot higher percentage of connecting with the actual offices we were calling. Does anybody else have anything to add about this fire? If you're new here, I've gone over a lot. I could go over 2 more hours of research, but I've already done it. So you guys can just watch the videos that exist. But yeah, this sheriff whose office won't pick up. Again, you guys, I just really want to emphasize this point. Look into the history of the FBI, the CIA, and the federal city. It's all very Catholic. You know, your whole fake truth community blames everything on Jews. It's the Jews. You know who wasn't warning about Jews at the beginning of the country? Everyone. No one was warning about them. The Jesuits were being warned about. And the Jesuits came into town. They set up camp in Washington, D.C. Eventually, the federal city moved there. But yeah, look at it. This sheriff, he goes to the 265th session of the FBI National Academy. The perp's name equals 265. And on the 265th day of the Superior General's Age, the leader of the Jesuits, pair that with the million other artifacts. And then you see how his name is also 206, like the Seattle area code, like the governor's from Seattle, Bob Ferguson. And remember, from the fire to Ferguson's upcoming birthday on February 23rd is 206 days. In 1889, Seattle, Ellensburg, and Spokane burned down. His name equals 89, like Gonzaga University in the same cipher. 82 like Seattle. I mean, 253 is the 22nd triangular number. Arson equals 22. I mean, Jesuits is 22. That some of it's going to be coincidental, but yeah, again, we did a much bigger decode on this guy who's blamed for burning it down with this Italy t-shirt. Here's his one Facebook post, you guys. His one Facebook friend and his one Facebook post. Italia, Italy. I'm trying to figure out what the lady is in the background, what's on that shirt. I can't make it out. I mean, if anybody can figure out what that is, I would like to know. Shout out to Brian Rick for the Cash App. I appreciate it. I need to keep eyes on my daughter, too. She'll wake up here pretty soon. But yeah, if anybody can figure out what's on that lady's shirt in the background, I would like to know that. Oh, one other thing that I picked up on, you know, when I saw the CNN story this morning with their thumbnail, or whatever you want to call it, their picture caption for the story of this guy being arrested with the basketball hoop. I mean, anybody who knows Spokane, they're known for Gonzaga, which is known for their basketball program. It made me go, wait a minute, maybe I should look at how Mark Few connects. You guys. Here, I wrote it down here. Look at this. The arrest was 146 days before Mark Few's birthday. Remember, his surname is a common Italian name for bakers. Baking, like Spokane just got baked. But remember, the Masonic Lodge in Spokane turned 146 this year, and the fire began 146 days from the birthday anniversary of Aloysius de Gonzaga, who the university is named after. But yeah, the perp also arrested 146 days from Mark Few's birthday. So, and another weird thing is Gonzaga's last game was played on the 21st of March, 21/3. The fire was on the 213th day of the year. I'll be paying attention to Gonzaga next year if they have any significant games connected to Los Angeles, the 213. You know, Elgin Baylor was sacrificed, Jesuit educated, before Gonzaga lost to Baylor. Obviously, he played down there for the Lakers. I'm going to bring Ray on. Ray, don't forget to unmute. What's up, Ray?
What's going on, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
I came in earlier in the stream and then dropped off. Then I'm back on. But I did hear you speak on briefly. Obviously, we're on the topic of fires and all these insane coincidences that happen around them. I heard you spoke on the Hawaii fires in Lahaina, correct? You did. Oh, okay. You're muted. I forgot that you have to mute because of our feedback.
Yeah, of course I did. I did 1,000 videos on it, and again, the lieutenant governor was in charge when that happened because the governor was out of state and she was Jesuit educated. A whole lot to that. But what's up?
Right. Yeah. So no, I meant in this stream you spoke on that, but.
Ray, you cut out. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry about that.
You might as well just start over.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me just see what's going on here. All right, can you still hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, the StreamYard is acting a little bit weird on the Android. Anyways, so the LA fires, I wanted to just bring that up as well because it's really crazy that Karen Bass was also out of town and in a presidential inauguration in Ghana, which was like, oh, that's crazy. And she had, someone in her stead, the acting mayor, which was, I think, Marquise Harris Donson or something like that. Anyways, but the funny thing is also she had a person over the public safety, which is like the deputy of public safety, Brian K. Williams. And at the time, if you remember, he was actually under house arrest during the fires because he had called a bomb threat to City Hall because he wanted to skip out on a meeting. The crazy thing is, though, is in the Lahaina fires, Governor Josh Green was also out of town, as you mentioned, but the Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke last month was indicted or is in some legal trouble for some embezzlement, in some campaign financial embezzlement situation, which just goes to show that maybe she wasn't walking the line perfectly. And this is like how they do it, because they know all these people are doing illegal things. And that at any moment in time, they can be like, oh, you're doing that. We're going to just call you on that. And that's possibly a way that they're keeping all these people in line. And a lot of people I feel like they think that that's impossible to have a lot of these people not in on the entirety of the conspiracy, but they just need to play their role and they don't need to know how big or small or what else is going on. You know what I mean? She just believed that she was a lieutenant governor in Karen, for Governor Josh Green in a situation that we all saw. It was crazy. And all this is connected to The Rock, as you've spoken on this as well, with the San Andreas Fault movie and all that kind of stuff. But it just goes back and forth, between politics and movies and how all this stuff is connected, and these fires that are constantly going out, and now this guy with the middle name FORREST, and it's just a sick joke. Like, do you not like how? What are the odds? Like, you asked.
Just by the way, hold on, Ray. Just so people know, they brought up the team that fought the Los Angeles fire to fight the Spokane fire. That's part of the story if you're following it. And they called that the Palisades Park fire. Again, I covered the LA fire from a million angles too. It was all synced with Karen Bass, who was out of town. Yeah, just like Josh Green. But Palisades Park is an area in Spokane. And the LA fire last year, at the start of the year, was the Palisades fire. So I don't think that's an accident either. Go ahead.
No, not at all. And that's exactly like my view on it is just like, what are the odds that two fires, consequential, that the people that are supposed to be in charge are out of town when they start? So they have like, maybe a legal way out. Like, I wasn't here or whatever it may be. But I'm just saying it's just the same way as Carmelo Anthony, and you put into the air, what are the odds that in the same day, the two big stories that have the same name, it's like impossible.
Ray, did you hear the student who just called in last Friday from the high school where the Carmelo Anthony thing happened? Did you hear that call?
Oh yeah, that was unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
I need to put that out as a clip. For all you guys who got sucked into the Carmelo Anthony psyop, I mean, come on the same day that Carmelo Anthony, the basketball star, is nominated to the Hall of Fame, I mean, please. But we just had a student call in from the school and let us know that Austin Metcalf had been out of town in Alaska for a whole month, and he came back and he was acting real weird, and his suspicion is he's probably in some FBI witness protection program because he doesn't believe the psyop either. So... Again, you guys, that's what this nation is. One psyop after the next, one lie after the next, just to keep us pitted against each other, divided, fighting over all this nonsense, race, politics, all the crap they give us. Again, this news is here to distract and divide. And again, watch the coverage on the Spokane fire. Is there any meaningful information you're getting? How isn't it that I mean, it's supposed to be investigative. Wouldn't a normal person look at this guy's Facebook profile and go, does this even look real? I mean, who has one Facebook friend and one post? This is the proof this guy exists? Aaron Farinacci in his Italy t-shirt?
Oh my God. Exactly. It's just like, no, but see, that's the thing is the news never gives you, like you're saying, they never investigate deeper than surface level.
Ray, hold on. I have to interrupt one more time. I heard the sheriff in his press conference say that he was caught on body camera footage, so they knew it was him. So you mean to tell me a cop with his body camera on and knows how they justify this? They got to justify the cameras. If they caught this and they have it on police camera and everything, they weren't able to respond quickly enough and shut this thing down before it burned down Spokane? I mean, what? Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, they don't actually know what's going on, Zach. And you saw that yourself when you went out. When you were pounding pavement that one day to that supposed shooting over at, was it Costco or Kmart? I forget what it was, but
it was at
when
Fred
you were
Meyer.
speaking out,
it was at Fred Meyer in Pasco, Washington, which is the Kroger brand out here. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were speaking to the guys on the ground, supposedly the investigator in charge at the time, Inspector Lee, I think it was, or whatever it was, and he had no idea what was going on. He told you as such, and he's like, yeah, this is coming through text message to me. And you asked him, have you been inside? He's like, no, FBI's there or whatever it was, or federal. But it's like, they don't even know what's. But like the guy that you were speaking to, who was part of the system or the political system, he seemed like a nice guy enough. I don't know if he was being genuine or not, but he was listening and he was, giving his ideas or whatnot. But he was just telling you to do what? Go over there, submit a request for them to pass a law. Well, conspiracy in this country, last I checked, is illegal. That's already a law in the books. You can't conspire to defraud anyone, especially not the nation, but that's already a law. So what is a law gonna do? It's just like a revolving door of no solutions. but that's exactly where they want to keep us. It's like on the treadmill, like good little soldiers or good little citizens. They want to keep you in this constant state of maybe it'll get better, maybe it'll get better. Maybe like when the guy with the D next to his name comes in, then it will get really good. And then, but because you're seeing like now it's incredible what happens in the news, and I'm sure you've noticed it. Right before elections happen, there's a shift that happens with the stories. It all becomes almost like a platform when it's obvious if you look at it. It becomes a platform. All the news cycle becomes almost to make your mind think about politics, obviously, but the news does it deliberately. But you never notice it because it's so, and almost sometimes even the episodes of shows are written as such to make you think about politics. And it's very subtle in the ways they do it, because they want you to keep on thinking that you're voting and everything is good when you're voting and everything. But yeah, I just wanted to call in just to, because I don't know if people remember or not, because it's, a year ago, it's almost like ancient history in America because people forget so quickly. But the Lahaina fires, the main guy in charge was gone. LA fires, the main Mayor Karen Bass, the lady was gone. So coincidence? Absolutely not. It's just the same old craziness going on, and people's lives truly get messed up. And like you said, all they put on TV is sad stories to make you feel bad. Like, oh my God, let me donate to 1-800, donate money to this place that's never going to get there.com, whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was something impossible for you to really objectively look at it and go, yeah, that makes sense. 2 fires, both people are gone when the fires goes off, and seemingly, if you look at the numbers aspect, because when I call in, Zach, I never speak about the numbers because the numbers speak for themselves, and a lot of people never even want to look at the numbers. They get a malaise over their eyes. They literally get like a gloss when you start talking about the numbers with them. So I always try to angle it in just like showing them like this scenario or this situation. That's my angle to try to show. Because then if you bring the numbers in, it's just undeniable. When you bring the numbers in, it's just like, okay, now it's just like obviously undeniable. You know what I mean? But just stories that are colliding at all times. FORREST as the middle name. Oh my God. It's just like, are you serious right now? It's like a badly written sitcom. But that's all I had for today, Zach. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Appreciate it, Ray. Yeah, if anybody remembers the February 7th, I believe it was 2022, it was the 38th day of the year. Initially, it was reported that a 38-year-old killed a 38-year-old on the 38th day of the year. Later, they changed the perp's age to 39. But, again, in this code of letters and numbers, death equals 38. So does murder, so does killing, so does RIP, so does Kroger. It happened at a Kroger-owned store. This was in Richland/Pasco, Washington, Tri-Cities, Fred Meyer. I guess it was Richland. I'm pretty sure it's in Richland. But anyway, if you guys have not seen that video, YouTube delete off YouTube right away. So I put it up on BitChute back then, and you guys should watch that video. You should go to my BitChute. Just go to BitChute and search Zachary K. Hubbard, Fred Meyer. It's the one that's an hour and 12 minutes. I talked to Commander Chris Lee, who was the guy in charge of the news. He says right on camera, he says the feds are in complete control of the scene, even though he's the media spokesperson. He says, I haven't seen anything with my own eyes. I just take orders from the feds. I'm not even allowed to go in the building. And he said, I understand why you're out here questioning things. And again, isn't that a pretty important, and you can also see the way the news medias were. We figured out a lot after that too, because the NBC team that was on the ground, they were all just reading off their cell phones. You can see me confront the NBC team. I said, where's your information coming from? You guys aren't in there. You don't know what's going on either. You're reading from your cell phones and then getting in front of the camera. I actually interrupted their live broadcast, which pissed them off, which caused their cameraman to smash my phone straight to the ground. Imagine if I did that to them. The police were all around. The police would have arrested me in 5 seconds. They didn't do anything about the NBC cameraman taking his arm and smashing through my hands and phone right into the ground. You can witness all that in the video, but that's the land we live in, right? The corrupt media is protected by the authorities because it's all part of the authority. But yeah, you can see how things really are. I was there for longer than that. I can't remember. I hope it is in there. I hope it's in that video where I confront the crisis actors too, because there was crisis cast there, and you should have seen the way they reacted. Shout out to Ray to the Y with the big 15. Appreciate that. Oh, that was the same Ray who just came on. Thank you, Ray. What's up, GAD?
Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Oh, what am I doing? Gad. Sorry, Gad. I'm so used to calling you GAD. What's up, Gad?
What's good, Zach? Yeah. Yeah, so I have like one or two questions. Actually, first and foremost, which video, because when you were speaking to Ray, the previous caller, where is it? So did somebody call into your live stream and like as a student and tell you how they felt about it, or how'd that happen? Can you hear me?
I muted myself. Are you talking about when I was on the phone earlier in this stream?
No, or yeah, were you? Yeah,
I called the sheriff's office. Nobody picks up there. I called the mayor's office. Nobody picks up there. I called the congressional representative's office for Spokane.
No, I listened to that.
Secretary.
Oh no, I listened to that. I was asking about that Carmelo Anthony psyop. They were the student
Friday.
that called in your show?
Eli called back, the student from there, and gave us some truth bombs.
Oh, which video was that?
I need to go back and cut that clip and just upload it at his call. I'm pretty sure it was last Friday's live stream.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think it's right around the 50. I think it's a little after 50 minutes in Friday's live stream.
That there was only one brother instead of just two, because they both look exactly the same. But it is what it is. They run these psyops so much. But that's interesting.
I think it's is Larry Johnson right? Should we boycott the NFL stream? I think it's right around the 50-minute mark.
I need to watch that stream anyway. Yeah, I actually queued that one in. I missed the last three live streams that you've done. Did you see today that what was it? Did you see what Mondani said today as far as having like ID?
Here. It is this stream. It is this stream.
Okay.
Hold up. I wanted to go back and check. He calls in right about 50 minutes in the Larry Johnson stream when it says Eli on the screen. So for people who are new here, Larry Johnson's the former Kansas City Chiefs running back. I did an interview with him January 2020. I played it at the end of this stream, that interview. Again, we put him on this knowledge of letters and numbers. He's been teaching about it on his own channel for 6 years. We got the former leading NFL rusher teaching gematria to the world. And again, I mean, he's speaking out as a former NFL star and just getting ignored. So that's how it is in this world. The media's not covering the real.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you see Mondani saying about the thing?
Something that bad happened. Gad, your audio went bad.
Oh, it did. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, did you hear about Mondani talking about bringing digital ID or not digital ID?
Your audio's bad again.
Oh, damn.
If you're on Bluetooth, just get rid of that and just talk into the phone. It'll be better.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's way better. I'm telling you guys, those Bluetooth devices, I wouldn't even use them. It's bad to have that stuff by your head.
Yeah, no, you're right. Did you hear about Mondani thinking about adding in like mandatory ID for like grocery stores and shit?
Yeah, like a library card to get your groceries. I did see that.
Yeah.
You guys remember after 9/11, they passed all the laws. They keep all your data and information, phone calls, text message, library records. Sounds like they'll be taking your grocery records too. They want to know exactly what you're eating. Go ahead.
Oh shit. Yeah, that. And there was also another thing too, about them talking. And of course, they've been doing this with, their different agendas, like 2025 agenda and then 2030 agenda, where they were talking about with, I forget, that fucking weird scumbag from I don't know if it was the World Economic Forum about them trying to charge people for gas, and not just gas, air and for air quality and water and whatnot. These shouldn't be unlimited. Some people shouldn't have unlimited access to. I don't know if you ran any codes on anything he said in that little interview, or not interview, but press conference.
I didn't, but I'm
It
sure
was
that is the
Schwab. Yeah,
future.
that what's his name? What's his
Klaus
name?
Schwab.
Schwab. Klaus Schwab. Yeah, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I just saw that to be very interesting earlier today when I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, you guys are in better shape on the other side of the mountains, but it's just becoming a regular thing over here in the summer to lose a big chunk of the summer to living in the smoke. And this
Yeah,
is
I know.
cutting off years of everyone's life. It can't be good to breathe this stuff in. I mean, especially little kids. It's just, yeah, it's really frustrating to witness what's going on and knowing what's really going on, and that it's not some accident. It's not some idiot in his little Italia T-shirt that did it. It's
Right.
annoying, man. And again, you guys, just the way this impacts people. I run Airbnbs over here. I guess what everyone's saying right now. I'm getting multiple requests. Hey, can I cancel my reservation? I know it's only 3 days away, but I don't want to come out with the smoke. Again, you guys, this stuff it interferes with the economy. It interferes with travel. It's exactly what they want with Agenda 2030. They want to curb consumerism and limit travel and all these things for carbon emissions. Again,
Yeah.
order out of chaos, you guys. Order out of chaos. So
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I see the smoke out here, man. And like prior to 2020, we didn't even have this stupid shit going on like this. But now, ever since 2020, it's been constantly, like, in Washington. We've been having this poor air quality, which, Washington State, because we live in the Pacific Northwest, we have nothing but trees that cleanses the fucking air quality that we breathe. Yet here it is. These devils, these psychopaths are sitting up here for ritualistic purposes. Causing forest fires, whether it be from Oregon, whether it be from certain parts in Washington, or up in Canada, and flooding that air quality throughout the state, throughout the northwest part of the United States and shit. It's terrible, man.
it is. It is. And again, by 2030, Meta's supposed to be all the way ready. You can just live in virtual reality. You can live in your little tiny cubicle in virtual reality where the air is better than it is outside. I mean, I feel like that's really what they're doing. They're saying, okay, let's make things really bad for the interim, but it's really a 100-year plan, and then we'll allow the Earth to heal for the next 100 years while we got everybody in their cubicles in Meta.
Yeah. Yeah, while they're enacting certain things that we've seen in certain movies, like was it George Orwell's 1984, or what was that movie, Soviet? So I was looking at some old movie the other day about Soviet Green, about them using fucking people as compost and shit.
Soylent Green, yeah. And remember, green equals 49, Washington equals 49. Washington, the only state with the green flag. The Washington company started the human composting company based out of Seattle in the time of Cooties 19, flew under the radar.
Oh yeah, they talked about in 2020 that that's what's about to use and shit. Like it's fucked up, man.
Oh, I know what it was. Soylent Green came out 49 years before the year it's set in, which is what, right about now? Soylent Green, what year is it set in? Here, hold on. 2022. And it came out 49 years before that in 73.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And they set up that human composting company right before that. Yeah. Oh, it came out on the big Jesuit Day, the anniversary of Ignatius Loyola being recognized as the first superior general. How about that? Wow. Soylent Green, same day Murder by Numbers came out in history.
Yeah, Hey, speaking of which, real briefly, I mean, with all these robots that they're building, I was looking in that they were building a damn fucking goat-looking robot, some fucking ram horn, porn god-looking fucking thing to like clean up certain environments and shit with a chainsaw on it. And that they're gonna bring that shit out. I don't know if it's this year in California. I don't know if it's California or Nevada, but I think it might be in California. They're gonna bring that shit out probably either this year or next year. To supposedly clean up certain messes and shit. Like this shit is kind of crazy, man.
It is. It is. You can stay on, Gad. I'm gonna let AC in too. What's up, AC?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey, man.
Hey, so if somebody's looking for that clip, and they want to share it easier, I shared it on my new Instagram page. It's called Gematria Effect Highlights. I've got a few videos on there now.
It's called
I don't.
Gematria. You said Gematria Effect Highlight?
Yeah, Gematria Effect Highlights. And I just posted like a 5-minute clip of that video. But I just wanted to say I'm thankful for all the work that you do, Zach. I appreciate you working so hard on all the research and just doing call-ins to the mayor's office, stuff like that, which something that I've been trying to do is do some research on local news stories here where I'm at. And I've actually uncovered something that happened last year. It was a fire that happened at the Raleigh Convention Center, and I'll be posting that on my other Instagram account. But it's all tied in with masonry and things like that. So I think we just need more people out here that are willing to call these people out and just expose the truth. But if anybody's looking for that clip, they can find it there.
I found it. I followed you back, man. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Hey, man, for another clip idea, maybe the call into the congressman's office today.
Yeah, I'm thinking about calling the mayor's office about the fire because it's all lined up with her. The fire happened on the eve of her becoming mayor of Raleigh. So
That's how they do it.
and on that day in history, the North Carolina Masonic Grand Lodge that's in Raleigh, it moved to the building where it's at now on December 2nd. And it's crazy. Raleigh Convention Center equals 121. It also equals 122. And it became a huge news story on 12/2. So I was just like, that's so wild. And they actually had the Raleigh Convention Center lit up in red and orange that night, coincidentally, I'm sure. And they said it cost $10 million to do the renovations on it. So, it's just costing the people of Raleigh taxpayer money, or, if it's not costing taxpayer money, they're just doing it for insurance fraud. And it's just crazy that they're getting away with it.
It's absolutely costing the taxpayers money, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. And that's what everyone should think about. In all likelihood, they are using military technology to start these fires, probably some kind of laser. And again, I mean, just all the federal tax money used to send all these people from all over the nation. And none of this needs to be happening. We're out here living in a smoke cloud, and likely, again, forest fires do happen naturally, right? I mean, dry conditions, lightning. But think about that too. JFK in 1961 addressed the United Nations on September 25th. Look up JFK's speech from September 25th, 1961. He talked about a variety of topics, but a section of his speech was about the emerging future of weather control, ensuring there doesn't need to be drought. We know they can make it rain. Why are they not, wetting all these dry places? Why aren't they doing that, huh? They've had the technology for decades to do it. They banned weather warfare in 1972. They made it pour on Vietnam, you guys, with Operation Popeye. Why aren't they doing that out here where there's this record drought? And here's what you can do. You can bet your bottom dollar this record drought is actually them doing the exact opposite. They're engineering the conditions for the purposeful destruction for the agendas, like Agenda 2030. And again, all of us are paying drastically more in insurance because of all of this. It just continues to add costs to our lives, stress to our lives. Talk about getting rid of us. I can't. I mean, this is like the sixth straight summer of living in a smoke cloud for an extended period of time. That can't be good. Carcinogens. I mean, I keep thinking I got to get out of here with my daughter, man. I can't have her living in a smoke cloud for the better part of a month. You know, she drinks a lot of water. That's the good news. She realized she needs to drink more water, but you know, she's got a little nagging cough if she's not staying hydrated, just like everybody out here. Today we were at the library, went to the library, we drove through the smoke to go to the library to get out of the house for reading day. The poor lady reading the book, I've never seen her cough so much. Again, it's because we're all breathing this crap in. I mean, it's sickening, you guys, to realize what's really going on. And you know, the sheep over here are just eating everything, every last lie up. Oh man, I can't believe somebody let that crazy guy who killed his dad out of prison. Now look what he did. It's amazing how easy it is to bait these people.
Yeah, it's absurd. I mean, weather warfare is 100% real, and if you deny that, you're just dumb.
The U.S. government banned it in 1972.
Yeah, like every time it snows, like nowadays, like I notice the snow just doesn't melt. Like I live in North Carolina, it gets up to like 50 degrees here easily, like in the dead of winter, and the snow was just around for like 3 weeks this past year when it snowed, and it only snowed about 4 or 5 inches. I was like, yeah, there's definitely something going on. And I mean, people have done their own tests on it. There's different things like, you know, aluminum, all that stuff is in the air. And, you know, you can see it when you're actually like, just if you're like parked and you're looking at your headlights. I mean, I'm no scientist, but it looks like there's something in the air. It looks like there's some form of heavy metals floating around in our air at all times. So, I mean, it's just something people aren't really conscious of.
I remember in the
it's killing
opening
us slowly.
days of the Cooties 19 lockdowns, you didn't see the tic-tac-toe patterns in the sky, and we talked about this, and people noticed it all over, how dark blue the sky got. We'd forgotten how blue the sky can be because we're used to having that white wash to it from all the crap they're doing up there. They're like, those are just contrails. It's like, were you guys alive at one point in the not too distant past where it wasn't tic-tac-toe patterns in the sky every day, like planes were lost? I remember when the jet would fly over and leave the trail behind, but it would quickly disappear, not sit up there all day and spread out and turn a blue sky into a thin, like gray coating over it. I remember they gave us the headlines about 5 years back about how the Ivy League schools think that this, what do they call it, dimming could be a way to stop climate change in the future by putting these particles into the sky to block out it's like, come on, man. They're talking about this like this is a plan for the future, like it's not already going on. It's just maddening.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, where I live, like, I really don't see a lot of chemtrails, but if it does happen, it'll come, like, back-to-back weeks, and then the skies will be clear again. So, I mean, there's been different pilots over the years that had admitted to spraying stuff for the government. It's really not even a conspiracy. I mean, just look up at the sky. You tell me if that looks normal to you.
Well, it does look normal now, right? I mean, if you were born in the last 20 years, it looks pretty normal.
Oh, yeah, kids growing up nowadays wouldn't even know what a real sky looks like.
Look at every Hollywood movie and commercial. I mean, any shot of the sky looks that way everywhere. It's like, that's just what the sky looks like now. It's crazy. How much does that operation cost? It's obviously going on everywhere. It's got to be expensive, and it's probably drones doing it, which lowers the cost. But how much is that stuff they're putting in the sky everywhere? Can't imagine it's that cheap to be spraying the skies across the world, seemingly. So...
Yeah, but just wanted to share that. If anybody's looking for that clip, they can find it there. And,
all right. Again, he's got the new Instagram, gematria.effect.highlights. New channel. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, and if there's anybody in North Carolina that wanted to check out that story, I'll have a post up on it soon on my other Instagram. It's called It's the Other Jays. But that's it for now. I appreciate it, Zach.
All right, take care, AC. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Yeah, it does take a toll. I mean, I can't decide today if my eyes are burning because I've hardly slept the last 3 days or if it's that plus the smoke. But yeah, today the eyes are a little bit irritated. I'm almost tempted to break out the blue blockers, but I don't think that's going to make a difference today. I need a nap. All right, I just dropped the link again. If there's anybody else that wants to share, maybe I'll try calling the sheriff's office one more time, but I have a feeling they got the phone off the hook because we are already 0 for 2 on the calls to the sheriff's office. Actually, I'm just going to save it because I got to keep my phone to watch my daughter. I know she's going to get up any second. I just watched her move a minute ago. I don't want to leave her in there unattended. Yeah, last chance to get in, you guys, because Sweet Girl's probably going to be up here pretty soon from her little siesta. If anybody else has anything to add to this fire or other fires going on, I mean, there's a lot of other fires going on in the nation. I'm sure it's much the same. A lot of these fires are more out in the woods. The Spokane one obviously got more attention because it destroyed so many people's properties. And I know a lot of, what's viral right now is people saying that that's exactly where they plan to build the data center. I'm not finding anything to corroborate that, but we'll see what comes in the future now that the land's available. The data center thing's quite comical. Bill Gates endorsing the data center plans that are highly destructive to the environment, high water usage, high energy usage. Bill Gates, Mr. Environmentalism, and tell the data centers, the environment can kick rocks because now we got the data centers. It really is amazing. Fires in Ukraine too, yeah. Hey, go forth and set the world on fire. Let's not forget Ukraine, Russia, perfect Jesuit ritual. Israel, Hamas, perfect Jesuit ritual. U.S., Iran, perfect Jesuit ritual. Everyone's like, you just blame everything on the Jesuits. Well, I come with the receipts too and show you how it's the same number of patterns. It's the same stuff all across the board. Not to mention we're calling this stuff out before it happens too. So, if you guys want to mock what we're doing over here, you're just choosing not to listen to what's being said. And again, who else is capable of doing this? All you guys that sit around here and blame Jews, what private school network do the Jews have? What private hospital network do the Jews have? What private orphanage chain do the Jews have? Are we on the Jews calendar? Are we speaking the Jews language? Nope. The answer to all those questions is no, 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 no. If I ask all those about the Catholic Church and the Jesuits, it's all yes, 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 yes. Have you ever compared how much land Jews own to how much land the Catholic Church owns? Because then we start to get into laughable territory. So, the Rothschilds. Oh, the Rothschilds. You mean the money managers for the Vatican? Well, what's a Rothschild anyway? Isn't that a red shield? Oh, who has red shields? Is that Rome? Is that the Templars, the original bankers? People are caught up with these middle managers thinking the middle managers run the show. People don't have a clue. Israel's an entire Jesuit creation. They use them. Again, the only reason Israel's where it is because of the Templars who used Al-Aqsa Mosque and called it Solomon's Temple. The whole reason Israel's where it is because of the Catholic Church. What's state of Israel equal? Doesn't it equal the Jesuit order? Isn't it the same ritual over and over with those same numbers that's in that encoding? From the beginning of the country up to the present, all these wars going on? Does this kid have a shirt on that says Judea here? Nope. Nope. Mr. FORREST. Fake truth community. It's all Catholics. Again, why is anyone listening to Tim Pool? Tim Pool, this little goofy guy with nothing interesting to say, Catholic. Candace Owens, total bimbo. Went from telling you need to vote for the orange clown to now she hates the orange clown. Converts to Catholicism. Her Jewish husband converted to Catholicism. Not the other way around. They converted to Catholicism. Gets all the attention. She's allowed to get on here and shit on Jews. Most people get their channels deleted. What's going on with that? Nick Fuentes, this little pimply loser that lives in his mom's attic. Does anyone listen to this little loser? This no pussy getting closeted, probably got pokey doked by his priest growing up kid. I mean, please, Catholic. It's all a bunch of Catholics telling you it's the Jews. Yeah, Klaus Schwab. Is he a Jew or Jesuit educated? And actually, if you ask Google if he's Jesuit educated, it'll say he's not Jesuit educated, but anybody can look up the university he went to and see that it was founded by the Jesuits. That's why Google's trying to lie to you guys on a lot of things. No, Klaus Schwab's not Jesuit educated. He just went to a university founded by Jesuits. Oh, okay. Got it. Just put on the... Yeah, don't forget, Google celebrates their birthday on September 27th, the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. Is the Lombardi Trophy, is that named after a Jew? You know, the biggest sport event in the world, is it named after a Jew? Or is it named after a Jesuit who died unexpectedly one day before the 1970 season began at Jesuit Georgetown? You know, on and 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 on. Have you ever looked into pro sports? Are half of the pro sports leagues filled with guys who are Catholic and Jesuit educated, from the players to the coaches? Because they are. Can you find a single player in pro sports that's Jewish educated? Is there a Jewish educated program putting out pro athletes everywhere? Not that I know of. So what's with this fake truth community that won't talk about what we're talking about over here, where we bring receipts every day and blaming everything on Jews? Oh, well, Zach's not talking about how the Jews have their names on all the media networks. Yeah, they do. Yep, they do. They got their names on the Hollywood studios. I know that's all true, but have you ever noticed how the CIA, writes a lot of the scripts for Hollywood, and how it's the intelligence agencies that give the stories that the news report? Now, these intelligence agencies, are they Jewish or are they Catholic from the beginning? Oh, they're Catholic. So Catholic information gets passed on to Jewish-owned Hollywood studios and news networks. So really the information's Catholic, but the middle manager Jews, who are highly transparent, they get all the attention, don't they? Do you see how this works? Because this is how it works. These people aren't stupid. They know to put the Jews out in front. Hey, here's your Jew pinata. Here's a Netanyahu pinata. Here's a Larry Silverstein pinata. Hey, Larry, got a good deal on the World Trade Centers. You want to get out there? Take advantage, because everybody's going to know your name. No one's going to see us standing behind the shadows, the ones with the motto, both into one. That's the Jesuits. That's Georgetown's motto. 2 into 1, like 2 World Trade Centers became 0 before they became 1, like the Jesuits have the long history of 201. If anybody wants to call in and challenge what I'm saying, I am dropping the link. I mean, since almost everybody in the fake truth community thinks it's the Jews, everything's the Jews. The link's right here. Call in and tell me about your big Jewish theories. Let's see if they hold up. Because again, isn't it true that the Jews, their names are on the TV networks, but it's the intelligence agencies that are Catholic that, again, put out all the propaganda that goes through those news agencies? Isn't that how they work? Don't they all report the same stuff? Yeah, you could say they're working together, but again, one group is very small compared to the other group. And it's the other group that doesn't even really get talked about. Older Bones, if you're disagreeing about what I'm saying, why don't you call in and tell me where your disagreement is? Because again, I mean, look at pro sports, the thing that occupies the minds of the masses. How many Jew athletes are there? How many Jew athletes? Do you know of any Jew schools putting athletes in the professional sports realm? Any Jew schools dominating the March Madness tournament year after year? Does March Madness literally equal Catholic in gematria? Was the first March Madness the Catholic school Villanova beating the Jesuit school Georgetown? Yeah, run the gematria on March Madness and Catholic and see how many overlaps there are. Try it out. Georgetown's ethics lab is room 201. I love it. Yeah, if we could audit these places, we'd be getting a lot more than that. Yeah, you just heard the guy pick up the phone at the congressman's office. He's like, of course I know Ignatius Loyola said, go forth and set the world on fire. I'm Catholic. And again, I think he heard 1,000,000% what I was saying, but I think also in the back of his mind, he's like, yeah, and what are you going to do about it? Yeah, I'll tell you what, if these algorithms weren't cheating, I'd lead an uprising and we'd get out our pitchforks and we would do something about it, because it is that time. It's way past that time. Maybe I got to up the volume a little bit, get the feds out here for the 3rd time. Well, technically, I've had the feds come out to my house 3 times, but only 2 different agents. We need to get a new agent out here. I'm only going until Sweet Girl wakes up. I know she's going to get up soon because she just did a big turn maybe 10 minutes ago. And when she starts doing that, it's close to wake up time. But for the time being, her head's still down. But it's only a matter of time. Here, let me see what else is buzzing in the news on 8/4. It's Obama's birthday. Barack Hussein Obama, brought into politics by a Jesuit priest. Isn't it funny how Tariq Skubal went from Detroit to LA like Matt Stafford, and Matt Stafford's first game with LA was against Chicago, and now Tariq Skubal's first game is versus Chicago? What's up with that? Again, Skubal went to the Dodgers with 61 regular season wins. LA hosting Super Bowl 61. Scripted sports. Mike McCarthy looking 20 pounds fatter. You got to love it. The Pittsburgh... Hey, you guys remember what happened to Mike McCarthy's brother? You know that what is 47 thing? Like how... By the way, the Spokane fireman, Euclid Road, 47 days before Gonzaga's birthday. The Masons study the 47th problem of Euclid, Spokane on the 47th parallel. But hold on. If you guys don't know about Mike McCarthy's brother, he dropped dead years ago at age 47. Packers won the first ever Super Bowl in the 47th season of the NFL. Joe McCarthy dropped dead on 121 at age 47. Boom. 121, blood sacrifice. What is 47? Packers founded by the Jesuit Lombardi. What's Jesuit equal? 21? Remember the Jesuits from Paris, France? We just saw last week on the 21 date numerology, Wemby from Paris, France signed his big contract with Nike on the 21 date numerology. Jesuit 21, Spurs 21, Nike 21, Saturn 21. Nike swoosh is a ring of Saturn. The first Jesuit pope was born on Saturnalia. Pope Francis, like the Jesuits from France. Yeah, Mike McCarthy back in his hometown. Back with Aaron Rodgers, too. You got to love it. And don't forget, Mike McCarthy started out as a coordinator with the 49ers, another big Jesuit city of San Francisco. But remember, that's the whole story with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers came out of Cal a year early because the 49ers had the #1 pick. The story was he thought he'd get drafted by the Niners, but Mike McCarthy, who was the coordinator for the Niners, wanted Alex Smith. And then Mike McCarthy becomes the head coach of the Packers and gets Aaron Rodgers. Again, all of it's BS, you guys. It's all just one big planned, super long joke. Packers. Whoops, I got to spell it right. Packers. Or what? I'm tripping right now. Yeah, that's what it is. Green Bay 41 like Rodgers. That's what I was thinking. Rodgers in the news the other day, 41 days before the Steelers opener versus Atlanta, talking about the CDC, Fauci, and Cooties 19 when the CDC's in Atlanta. I mean, come on. All right. I love how they're using Michigan as the Islamic takeover state. It's all part of the PSYOP. Whoa, the S&P 500 is back at a record high, and the Dow just hit 54,000. Come on, you guys. The Dow hit 54,000 on 8/4 for the first time ever? Whoa. Jesuit order 54. Throw a the in front of it. The Jesuit order 84. Jesuit 84. Catholic Church 84. Whoops, it's the Catholic Church. My bad. The Catholic Church. Come on, man. The leader of the Jesuits is the Superior General. Cable 54 strikes again. I should have thought of that one. You know, war is good for the market, man. What's good for Main Street isn't good for Wall Street. Main Street struggles. Wall Street's booming. The market controlled by a very small amount of people. I mean, millions of people are invested in the market, but the masses own a tiny percentage compared to the super wealthy. You know, the billionaire elite class that owns the vast majority of the market. So that's all their wealth. I forget what the Dow Jones establishment date is. Dow Jones establishment date. You guys should look into the history of the market. The first trade was made at the address 68. Market equals 68, like stock. Again, learn your gematria and just see through history. May 26th, the 146th day of the year. Today's the 216th day. So it's 70 days later. It's a Vatican number. Jesuits served the Vatican. But yeah, that's one to remember. The market hit 54K for the first time on 8/4. What's up? Open up.
Yeah, what's up, Zach? Excuse this background sound. I don't know if you could hear it or not. I'm on the walking mat. But first, shout out to the other caller. I think it was AC. And yeah, I was just calling in about that, the super chat.
Yeah, it means flour. It's a
Yeah.
common baker's name in Italy.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is really a joke. And the fact that they come out with the middle name of Forrest, a couple days later.
The next day. And well, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying, because the Great London Fire was blamed on a baker, and the guy who set the fire, his name literally translates to baker. And then you have this 137 piece, and the Great Chicago Fire started at the address 137. So you can just tell how this is all tributes to history. And again, you can look up all those fires. There's Jesuit conspiracy theories that they had a hand in setting the fire. I think it's pretty obvious that they set the fire just based on what we're able to document about today and how it all parallels the past.
Yeah, and the 137s are crazy that you found. And I mean, even without the numbers, if you bring the information to someone, with the forest, the fires, even with just that information, if you're able to share that with someone and they're not able to question anything beyond, without numbers, I mean, there's nothing left to explain to them. To me, you should just move on to the next person if they don't get it from that point, because it's pretty obvious. I mean, this is just another one of the jokes, like the Wayno Sexton joke with George Floyd. The guy's
The
name is
jokes
Forrest,
are endless.
causes a forest fire.
Yeah.
Dick
Yeah.
Butkus before the Bears game. I mean,
I
there's
might have
too
forgot
many.
to put the screenshot in here, but it was in last night's post about how the name means flour, which is a common name for bakers in Italy. And maybe there's something about this fascist politician too, Roberto Farinacci. He's the most famous person with that name.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy, Zach. I'll continue to share, and I had my own YouTube, like a separate channel to put out stuff. I think I need to get back to it. Like the last guy, I randomly found his Instagram yesterday, popped up in my feed, so I followed him. But yeah, he recorded like a few clips from some of your streams, some good parts, and I think it's pretty easy to do. Anyone could do it. It helps get the word out a little bit more, no matter how little it is. But yeah, I randomly came across his Instagram page and followed him. So it's something that's easy. I mean, I don't know how many people in here even like the stream or just press the share button. That's like the least you could do. But, technology age, these things are easy and a lot of it is free to do. So people who are not, you don't have to send money, but at least share the information.
Yeah. And I appreciate you for doing both. Open up. Thanks for the super chat and the question, because I did cover it last night, but I didn't really cover it in today's stream. So.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate you, Zach, and keep up the good work.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to go back out to Spokane and pound some payment at Gonzaga with this fire here and drop the truth bombs. We'll break out the loudspeaker. We're going to have the students mad as hell again, but some of them like it. But they need to hear it. So I remember the last time I was at Gonzaga, something, and this is the way the world is. There was one kid, because I've been to Gonzaga, at least a few times. But this kid, he was so excited about this book and the information, right? And then he even came back later in the day, because I was there like all day. I was probably there for 10 hours. But after talking to him for a while, he came back maybe after 2-3 hours. And he said, "Hey, man, can I get one more book? Because I really want to give one to my dad, too." And I said, "Sure," because I brought 100 books to give away, and I still had some at the time. So I gave this kid 2 books. So the next time I show up in Gonzaga, I forget, maybe 6 months went by, I come by again, and the kid comes by, and I forget, he made some snide remark, right? And then he was like, and then he walked back by again later, and he's like, "Yeah, your work's all bullshit," or something. I was just like, I wonder what happened in the last 6 months, because the work's certainly not bullshit. He was so passionate about it. My guess is, he went to show it to his dad, and dad didn't like it. And dad told him he sounded like a crackpot, and he better never talk about that stupid shit again and focus on his studies. I'm guessing something like that went on behind the scenes. But I was thinking, man, this is the kid I gave 2 books to, and now he's acting like this next time I'm here. He was the most passionate one about it. And then just no. I mean, the work's never been proven to be bullshit. Every day it just adds up more and more. That's the reality of the situation. So, but yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that quite well. So, it's funny. My nephew was going to school there too. If you guys don't know, my oldest nephew went to Gonzaga. Again, it's not to say that everybody who goes to the school is a bad person. Most people don't have a clue about this. And honestly, going to Jesuit school is probably a good way to ensure yourself a good career. My nephew's been out of school for 3 years now. He's now the boss of his department. And you know who was the boss before him? Somebody who's also Jesuit educated who went to Gonzaga. My nephew's an engineer, but he never came out while I was there. I'm sure he knew I was there. He never came out and said anything. I'm sure his mom told him, steer clear of your psycho uncle. She's probably eating up the Aaron Forrest story today. Yeah, I'm glad they got him. They got that smirking creep Aaron Forrest Farinacci. It's just the whole thing is such a mockery, man. Woo. Ooh, Aaron Forrest Farinacci. All right, sweet girl surprised me. Maybe she's actually going to make up for sleep today because she slept better last night, but the 2 nights before that, she hardly slept at all. Again, she had some fever thing. I don't know what brought on the fever. It could have been from teeth coming in. It could have been from God knows what, breathing all the smoke, but maybe today's makeup day. All right, we got Gad back. What's up, Gad?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's breaking up a little bit.
Okay, 1 sec. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Well, here, I'll respond to this. Remember, Gonzaga equals 71 and 35, like Catholic. Yeah. And I want to address this point real quick because there's a 71 in this ritual today. Hold on. Again, from the fire to the anniversary of this guy killing his dad, the supposed perp who killed his dad October 11th. Remember, that's the day leaving 81 days left in the year, like Spokane equals 81, like the fire started on 81, but 71 days to the anniversary. Gonzaga and Catholic 71. There's an image out there of me at the Gonzaga campus with students holding up a gematria sign of how Gonzaga equals 71, and I let those kids keep it. That might still be on the Gonzaga campus today. Anyway, go ahead. What's up, man?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, well, first and foremost, I mean, doesn't that sound like Fibonacci a little bit? You know, just as far as the name.
Yeah, it does. And you know what? The Fibonacci sequence Italian, the 11th Fibonacci number is 89, like Gonzaga established in 89. This kid's name also equals 89. The sheriff's name equals 89. So yeah, you're probably right about that.
Yeah. No, I did kind of find that interesting. You've been saying his name a couple times. I was like, it might be spelled that way for a reason, obviously. But yeah, there was another death that happened in the world of Hollyweird. You know, I think there was some woman named Rivera. She died, and apparently she was the character's, I think, aunt or mother of the character Ned Leeds, which is the character in the Spider-Man movie. And so that character is called it was in the Spider-Man movie No Way Home, and the one that just came out is Brand New Day. And I just want I don't know if you did a video on that. And she died at 82. Right, and of course, this coming like 4 or 5 days after the release of this movie or something like that. And I also noticed, because I did go see that Brand New Day film, I noticed a 201 number right next to Spider-Man in one of the scenes, and I think in the mid part of the movie.
But just for the record, you guys, she died 38 days before her birthday. Death, murder, killing, R.I.P. When did the news break of her death? Looks like the news broke yesterday, so they waited to save the news for the 3rd day of August. The woman who died earlier this year, 38 days from her birthday. And you said the Spider-Man movie just came out?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm saying, like, she was part of No Way Home, which is like, I think it was 2 movies before this one, right? This one is
Oh.
brand new day.
I see. It just
Ironically
came out
enough.
on the anniversary of Ignatius Loyola's death anniversary.
Oh, yep.
And look,
Yep, and
82, right? Loyola equals 82. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll look. I didn't know about this one. I'll look into it.
okay, yeah, and if you ever do check out that Spider, the new one that just came out in the theaters, I did go see it this Saturday. There was the 201 number was right by Spider-Man in one of these in one of the sequences in the film. So
Well, doesn't it make sense? It came out
just
on
a heads up
Ignatius
if you ever
Loyola.
do.
It came out on his feast date. His name is 201. So, yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense to me. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that. You still there, Gad? Uh-oh.
Right.
You're
Right.
breaking up, Gad. You're breaking up.
Yeah, but
He might not hear me because his connection. If your connection's out, you can't hear the other person either. Austin, you want to go while Gad's broken up? What's up, Austin?
Hey, what's good, Zach?
yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I'm cutting out. I'm about to get off, but just wanted to bring that up to you.
Appreciate it, Gad. I'll do more research on that. Thank you for the heads up.
Take it easy,
All right, man. Take care.
Zach.
What's up, Austin?
What's good, Zach? Just enjoying the good old smoke out here. It's normal in August. Yeah, I heard you say you plan on going out to Spokane, so I might have to pick you up on that. We haven't done anything in a couple of years. So if you go out there, depending on when it is, I might be able to meet you out there.
Let me look up when their school year starts real quick.
Okay.
First day of class, it says, is Tuesday, September 1st. So that weekend would be Saturday, September 5th, and Sunday, September 6th. Might be a good day to go out there and just talk a little 95 Jesuits on September 5th. Maybe it's meant to be. A month and a day from today, assuming there's still not a smoke cloud and things still aren't on fire, might shoot for September 5th.
Yeah, I definitely try and get that day going in my schedule, and hopefully, if I have time and you go out there, we can meet up. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely time to go out there. I mean, all this stuff going on, and last time I called in, there was all these earthquakes and stuff. We didn't really have anything going on here, but now we got the normal fires and the normal stuff we're used to this time of year. Now it's just it's off the rails. So yeah, definitely, there's quite a bit to say. Going out there. I mean, and who knows, like you said, a month from now, I mean, how much more there's going to be to add to whatever we have. I mean, right now it's just, I mean, the smoke just got over here like yesterday. It was pretty clear. Saturday was really nice, and Sunday was pretty decent, and the smoke just got over here yesterday, but who knows how long it's going to be around and how bad it's going to get.
Yeah, isn't it nice on the day that can be written 3-8 when fire's 38, the smoke's just everywhere in the state. Isn't that perfect?
Yep. And good old 8-4 today, like Jesuit, like Austin too. So it's all perfect how they set this all up. 8-8-1, like ritual, and just like I was saying with Trump and him being his 81st year of life and ritual being 81. So here they go already, on the attack with that, and it's going to be nothing, like I said, he turns 81 too. So they got, just over 2 years, almost 2 full years to get, all the rituals in with that. And, all the things that's like I said when I was called in last time, all the stuff they do in Washington this year, floods, everything we've had. And, now our typical fires, now they're worse than they've been since over 100 years in the 1800s. And Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, how many years we've been living out here, and it's just like this every single year. Every single year at this time, you have the smoke, and you got to think about how much we've already inhaled, ingested living out here. But I've lived in other areas too, and you got to deal with it as well. I mean, I've lived out in Wyoming, and that was the worst fire and smoke I've ever had to deal with, and that was extremely bad, and that definitely took a toll. I mean, there's nowhere really to go where weather warfare and chemtrails aren't going to get you. So whatever they decide to conjure up, I mean, that's why all this stuff. It's amazing that it continues to go on, even though it's just persistent every single year. I mean, when uh, back in the day, you didn't really have this stuff, and you didn't really have chemtrails and spraying much. When I was a kid back in the '90s, you might see a chemtrail or something. That was it. That was, just one or two sprays here and there. But now you got what you have, and now you can't even see the sky. So they're probably taking advantage on the other side, spraying, making this stuff even worse. So it's just amazing how this goes on, and yeah, the weather warfare and stuff is going to continue. All this stuff's just going to keep getting worse. If people somehow, and that's the thing too. I mean, you think about 2030, another 4 years. I mean, they can do so many things by that time. And like I said before, last time I called in, I just don't really see them making it to that point with everything they're doing right now. It's just and what they have coming the next year or two or few years, and with all this just getting worse and worse too. And I mean, the earthquakes kind of stop, but then they could conjure one up. Who knows? By the time we go to Spokane, I mean, we're talking about fires, earthquakes. I mean, who knows what they're going to have, because it's going to be pretty close to 9/11 by then too. So that'll be the big 25 year anniversary of that. Like death equals 25. So there's a lot of big dates coming up. The summer's definitely not over. Right? I expect this to be probably the month the fireworks go off. I mean, because June and July were kind of somewhat quiet. I kind of thought there'd be something bigger, but this could be the month where they unleash it, and they're starting off that way, at least in our area.
Yeah. Again, I don't see any of the agendas letting up all the way through 2030. They got that's a kind of a deadline for major plans, and they got to keep doing exactly what they're doing in overdrive mode to get us closer to their goals. You'll own nothing and be happy. Again, when they said that, one of my first theories was like, well, they can figure out a way to price us out of existence, and weather warfare is something that can take away a lot of people's property. So those are my first thoughts in June of 2020 when Klaus Schwab said you'll own nothing and be happy. Weather warfare was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And again, I mean, just look at how much more expensive everything is since June of 2020, and it can get a lot worse than it is now.
Oh yeah, the last 4 years since I've been back here has been ridiculous. What the economy was 4 years ago, how bad inflation's gotten, just the price of everything, how hard it is to find work and jobs and make money. And even 4 years ago, I mean, AI was just kind of beginning, and you look where it is now, and where is it going to be? And then these data centers, which is just something completely different, with a whole another twist to all of this, and then you have all these other things going on. And the next 4 years, I mean, there's so many things that things multiply. I mean, they don't just add. I mean, it's not going to be like, 4 years ago, it's going to be, 10 times worse. It's going to be this, that, and who knows what. And that's just the thing. It's not something where it's hard. It's like, where do you go? What do you do? I mean, I always say I think it'd be best to, go down by the equator and try and live off grid and just do your own thing. But it's, you got to pick the right spot. It's like, where do you go where they're not going to hit you with chemtrails or weather warfare or whatever and just take you out? So there's not a lot of options. And it's like,
just pause for a second there. That's exactly right. The equator is optimal, but it's a new world order, and it is hard to escape because, again, weather warfare, directed energy weapons, all the stuff they have at their capability. I mean, that's why humanity has to rise up, educate themselves, and stop what's going on. And it really does. Again, an audit of these Jesuit universities would be a great place. The Vatican, all these places. Again, this is the source of the evil. And if you can't see it, all you dear Catholics, I'm not mad at you, normal Catholic people. It's not about you. It's about the institution that you've bowed down to. And you all have too, because remember, the Catholic Church went across the world with the sword, and that's why you, the ancestors, are praising this evil entity, which it is. And again, Sandra in the chat, come on, you guys. We have to be smart about when we're talking. I call BS on arson. This was not arson. This is geoengineering. Do you know what arson is? Arson is a purposefully set fire. So if it was purposefully set through geoengineering and directed energy weapons, that would be an arson. So again, you guys, we have to be intelligent with our words and know what words mean. There's different ways to set arson. You're calling BS on a guy went with his match or his Bic lighter and started the fire. I get that. But again, a purposefully set fire is an arson. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, there's so many things they can do. I mean, there's so many weapons they have. There's so many things, and that's just the thing. I mean, and they've, like I said, they've made this normal now, where it's just like this all the time, and they did it with everything. You know, the chemtrails, the spraying, the weather warfare. I mean, like I said, last time I called in was just after the longest day of the year. It was earthquakes and all that. Now it's fires. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, there's so many things they can use. They have so many weapons. They got HARP, and you know, with all the things they have, that's the thing. It's like, you know, a lot of people have the right idea, you know, get off grid and live off land, do all that. But if you don't stop this and you don't pay attention to this, which I always say, this is why I always bring this up. I talked about this last time I was on here. And if you don't stop this, then none of that's going to matter. I mean, there's going to be nowhere to go. And that's just, I feel like that's where we are right now. I mean, our backs against the wall, the walls are closing in. You know, it's just like you said, you know, you want to get out of there, you know, with your family and stuff. It's like, and I've gone other places too, and it's even worse. And the fires get you there, and other things get you, and it's just, it's extremely frustrating, and it's extremely annoying, because at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do, and you kind of just have to hope you get lucky and go to a right spot. But again, where is the right spot? There's nowhere that you're going to go where they can't get you, and that's just the thing. I mean, it absolutely is a revolution or bust, and it just comes down. I really think these are the most important topics and things we're facing in these times, because like we look at the next 19-year cycle. By 2039, you know, what is the world even going to look like by that time if these things aren't stopped? We talk about 2030 and stuff, and all these different agendas, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, all these, you know, things they want to do and accomplish, and their 19-year cycles, and what they're going to do next, and all this stuff. But you know, these are the things that just continue on day after day, and they've done so much damage. I mean, in the last so many years. I mean, and again, Washington's got like one of the best air qualities in all the country and stuff, from living by the ocean and the trees and everything. But you know, most of the year you're breathing in clean out here, but then I think about, you know, August comes, you know, probably still September and October. I mean, we're at least getting a month or two, or maybe 3 months of smoke pretty much every year we're breathing in. And how much is that? I know when I was, like I said, when I was in Wyoming, that was the worst fire and smoke I've ever been in. That was extremely bad. And I wasn't even in that long, but that summer was just the worst ever, when they were just burning everything down in 2020. And then I look at, like, you know, that situation, what's going on over there in Spokane, you know, and I'm 300 miles away. I'm down by Mount Rainier. Spokane is, you know, 5 hours away, and you can just see. I mean, it's the smoke rolled in yesterday. It's still pretty bad today. I mean, you can smell it in the air. It's definitely makes it hard to breathe and stuff. So, I mean, to sit there and think, and people want to, you know, ignore this stuff and say it's not, and doesn't matter. It's like, how? I mean, your health is being completely destroyed. I mean, we don't know how bad it really is. I mean, you know, a lot of us, you know, we're just going to keep going and keep working it and do stuff. But obviously, you know, who knows down the line, you know, years from now, from continuously living in this, what it's really going to do to us, and how much impact and effect it's really going to have. And a lot of people don't even think about those things. And then you think about
Austin, I got to interrupt real quick. Do you find that a lot of people just have an inability to listen to anything that you said? Did you hear what I said to Sandra a second ago? Because this is her response to what I just said. Does this response make sense to you based on what I just said? She said, Zach, the fire was all manufactured geoengineering. The houses are ash, the cars melted, and the trees are just fine. Now they're blaming some white guy of arson. I call BS. Did you just hear what I just said to her?
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous. And just, you know, it's just like when I try and talk to people about this stuff too. And this is the one thing I always bring up is this exact topic. Like I said, is if, like I say, if you can't see the spraying, you can't see anything. If you can't,
Hold on. But again, I just explained to her that an arson is a purposefully set fire. And again, Sandra, welcome to the channel. I already explained that, yeah, this is all geoengineering and everything's been engineered so that the conditions are just right for the fire. They made the wind blow super hard that day. They have it super dry. Again, Sandra, welcome to the channel. Try listening. JFK told the world in 1961 on September 25th that the future of weather modification was here, and then they could ensure there would be no more drought, so this kind of stuff wouldn't happen. So why isn't it happening in 2026? Again, it's because who controls the technology controls what's going on. Hey, instead of bringing rainfall, now they're going to bring extra drought. They're going to make sure no rain comes because they got a plan. It's called Agenda 2030. They need to create all this chaos so they can say, see, climate change is real. You guys need to do this, this, and this. You're not allowed to do this anymore. Things are going to be super expensive. How about come to our city where we guarantee the air is going to be a lot cleaner? You don't want to live on that side of the mountains because the air's real bad over there. Come to the city. Everything's going to be safer over here. This is the agenda, Sandra. Pull the wax out of your ears. Learn what words mean. An arson is a purposefully set fire. There's other ways. I just explained it all to you, and then you come back with this comment. Sandra, you represent what's wrong with the world. People cannot listen. You're just thinking about the next thing you want to say. You're not listening. You're not taking in information. And Sandra, we already decoded how bogus the supposed white guy is with the middle name Forrest, who has one Facebook friend and one post with him grinning in a shirt that says Italy when I'm educating about who actually did it. The Jesuits. Thus why the first act of weather warfare was on their birthday in 1952, the better part of a century ago. Sandra, stop talking and listen. You're embarrassing yourself. Go look up what arson means. Okay. Next, go ahead, Austin.
yeah, you're 100% right with arson. Arson can be anything. I mean, you can start something with a match, anything, a directed energy weapon, whatever you're using. Whoever's doing it is the arson. So yeah, the arson, whatever it is, however it is, it's all arson no matter how you look at it. And like I said, all this stuff is all man-made, whether it's any weapon they're using, to whether it's, like I said, earthquake, a tornado, hurricane, fires, all of it's man-made, all of it's arson no matter how you look at it. So it's not, it's just like when they had those directed energy weapons, they used those lasers in California, I think back in like 2018. Like they were just frying people in their car, and people were just, there's just like skeletons just found in their car. People were just like stopped. They said the fire was going like 300
Austin,
miles.
Go ahead. Go as long as you want. I have to go get my daughter. She's up, but I'll be back.
Alrighty. Yeah, it's just crazy times. All this stuff going on, and then just dealing with all this stuff, and then having to deal with whatever's coming next. I mean, they just keep us just whatever they can to. I mean, it's just I just don't understand how people don't get mad about this stuff. It's like, how do you not get mad that you're living in a smoke cloud all the time? It's just like you can't really see the sun. It's white, it's gray, it's hard to breathe. It's like, I don't understand how that doesn't upset people and frustrate people, and it doesn't make any sense to me how this continues on and just people just don't even care. I mean, it just shows you where humanity is. It's so cooked. It's so far gone. It's just, and then you got all these people, like I said, they don't understand it. They don't care. They don't even think it's happening. They don't even see it. So many people just don't. Just like even basic knowledge, just like a water car. People think, oh, this bring back emissions and all this stuff. It's like, no, we don't even need that. We could have water cars, things that run on water. You don't need no emissions tests. Things are way more easier and simple than people make them out to be. And unfortunately, that's just the times we're in. It's just all the information's out there, but it's just it's very frustrating. It's just it's just like all the time I've spent on UTTV, and if I have more time, in the near future, I can see if I have more time around the fall and winter to pop back on there more. But I've been really busy with work every single week and weekend, and I've been just booked with everything. And I didn't expect to be as busy as I've been, but I've had a lot of work, a lot of stuff to do, had to make a lot of money. But if I have time to get back on there, basically like to finish my book. I pretty much all the stuff to add. I mean, obviously with Spokane, it fits right in. Everything I've been saying. All the stuff we talk about over there. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked out UTTV, make sure you go over there and sub to the channel. Make sure you try and leave a comment, a like, try and go on there. I know I tried, and every time I come on here, I try and get people over there. Support King, support Zach. I pledge $20 a month to Zach every single month, so trying to help out. If anyone needs help, I'm willing to help. But it's hard when you're just trying to hang on yourself. But yeah, I mean, I've tried to get the work out. UTTV is a great place for anyone that wants to try and help out. We're trying to get people over there. People have time. People want to go over there. True Shaman's been doing a great job filling in for me. I've been enjoying listening every week. Logan's continuing on with it, so it's great stuff over there. If you guys, like I always say, I don't know, there's not more people over on King's channel or UTTV, but you guys can go over there. Like I said, at least sub to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, try and get this work out, because there's not many people doing this. I mean, you got me, Zach, there's King, there's Logan, True Shaman. There's not very many people that are doing anything that, and like I said, I haven't been on there in over 3 months because I've been just very busy since May and working. So, but if I can get back on there and get some notes and get some good information, I do plan on popping back over there, and if I have some time and stuff in the future, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, hopefully it's something. Hopefully people can somehow get this work out in person, because that's really the only way to do it, because I don't see it happen on the internet. And with stuff like this and how bad things are getting, I mean, our time is up, so it's gonna come down to whatever people can do, really. But
All right, Austin, man. Well, I appreciate you always helping out with the work and the show you and Logan been doing. And if you do come out to Spokane, I'll keep you posted. But right now I'm thinking that first weekend of September 5th is the Saturday, the 6th is the Sunday. It's the week before the NFL starts. People will be into college football, sitting on their keisters, not gathering for what they should be gathering for. They're gathering to watch people play games rather than put an end to the number games. That's what humanity needs to be doing. So,
yeah, we just got done with the Seahawks, the Super Bowl, and the flooding and all that. Now we're in the fires as another season begins. So they've really gone full circle and stuff. And yeah, I definitely, if you go out there, and I'll be trying to stay on top of things. And if you do go out, hopefully catch you out there, and we'll plan something and work together. And yeah, and I always, like I said, I always mention UTTV, because I haven't been on there in a few months because I've been busy with work and keeping up and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely always try and get people over there and sub to the channel and get views and participation over there and stuff. Just, trying to get work out, trying to get people to come together and work together and do stuff. And yeah, and King's channel too, because it's pretty much just us at UTTV. You got obviously Zach and pretty much King are pretty much the main channels, pretty much putting out the work and doing stuff. So that's try and get like I always say, try and get more people over there, and hopefully more people participate, and try and get the subs up. I know we're almost up to 400 over there, so that'd be big if we could pass that mark and get more views. And like I said, if I get more time, basically finish my book, there's so much to add over there and talk about and do. And yeah, I mean, the pounding, the pavement pounding is, if we just had more of that, getting it out in person, that would really make the biggest difference, because it's just so hard to reach people on the internet and stuff. But there's no doubt Spokane about a month from now is definitely overdue. And yeah, hopefully we go out there and we have a big impact, because we haven't done anything in a couple of years. That was August when we went down to Portland, and nobody showed up. But the stakes are a lot higher now. We're 2 years past, and we're getting closer to 2030. We're getting closer to another fake selection coming up, and the stakes are getting higher. Things are really getting they're getting wild. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it and whatever the future brings. But Yeah, it's always like I said. If I always get time, I call in stuff, and then stuff breaks out. Like last time we had earthquakes, now we got fires, so it's always good to check in.
All right, Austin. Appreciate you, man. Stay strong.
Yep, you too, Zach. Hopefully see you soon.
All right. Take care, man.
Yep, take care, man.
Yeah, Austin's pounded pavement with us numerous times in Seattle. He was there when we broke up the March for Our Lives scam. Yeah, if you guys missed that one, we even made the Everett paper for breaking up the March for Our Lives scam. Great photo they took of yours truly. Not the best story written, though. But yeah, we just had to call out the nonsensical politics. They were saying things like, if we just get Democrats in office, there'll be no more shootings. And I said, well, what about all the shootings that happened when Bill Clinton was president, like Columbine, or all the ones that happened under Obama, or the ones going on right now under Biden? Oh, they were mad. And then I got on the mega... They said it was an open stage, right? So I went up and I said, oh, I'd like to sign up for the stage. And the lady's like, well, what are you here to talk about? And I was here to talk about what's really going on with the mass shootings, how they're being orchestrated by the state. She's like, I don't think we're interested in that today. Oh, you're only interested in this nonsensical Democrats are going to save us from the mass shootings. Again, you guys, I'm not a partisan person. The Democrats and Republicans are two wings of the same bird. You got to be a sheep to vote for either party. If you're voting for either party, you're a big sheep. And you should all know that these elections are rigged. Neither party represents you. They just play this little game for morons. But yeah, we went out there and we shut it down. So, yeah, they had to end their little rally once I got on my megaphone. They were like, we're out of here. This is over. I said, yeah, this needs to be over. This is trash. And that was, by the way, you guys, that fell on a June 11th one year. Garo guaranteed Seattle was going to blow up that day and I was going to die. And you know what? He's already doing his videos for June 11th, 2027. Look out, Seattle, June 11th, 2027. It's going to blow. If you guys don't know about that, don't worry about it. We got a true prophet out here. He misses his prediction every year. Seattle's going to blow June 11th. What's up, AC?
Hey, what do you think about like a nationwide, like National Gematria Awareness Day, where we organize an event to like where somebody like goes out on the street in each state, like I could organize it for my state, and we just get people from this community to go out on the same date, preach the same message, talk about the Jesuits, talk about Gematria, talk about what's really happening. I feel like that would gather some, maybe not national attention, but enough local news media coverage to where the word gets out there a little bit and we're able to build this community up, because this is just something that I've thought about for a while, but I feel like if we did something like that it could make a big impact.
Well, that day should be every day, really, and that type of thing could happen at any given get-together. Again, when we were out in front of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, March 13th, 2020, at the beginning of the cootie scam, I gave away $2,500 in free hoodies that day. We gathered about 50 people, because that was all the hoodies I had to give away. Each one cost about $50. And we got Cairo 7 to come out, and they did interview us, but you know what? They didn't put it on the news, and it's a damn shame they didn't, because we were the only ones in the world talking about Event 201 at the time, something most people still don't know about. But I always think back about that day, if 5,000 people had come rather than 50, I'm pretty sure that would have been the big story that night. 5,000 people in front of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation calling out a simulation of coronavirus that most people didn't know about, that happened the same day as the Military World Games in Wuhan, China. And they also talked about how 10 years to the day of the virus showing up in Seattle, Bill Gates was at his TED Talk talking about how we need to depopulate and we can do it if we do a good job with... it could have been that way if more people showed up. So you can't just say any day. It's just people need to start getting out and pounding pavement and stop being so afraid. Everyone's so afraid. The only thing I should be afraid of is the future, man. The future if things don't change. This has become I could see a future, you guys, where they just keep the whole damn state covered in smoke for the whole year. I can see it. Just give it 30 more years. The whole year you live in smoke. So come to our freedom cities where the air's cleaner. And it's a mandatory poke that takes, you know what I mean? It's just, every day should be Gematria Awareness Day because every day there's something new to talk about. When we went out and gathered in front of the World Trade Centers in New York on the anniversary of 9/11, we had 50 people out that day. In New York City, there should have been at least 5,000 people out there. And we gathered in front of Oklahoma City bombing on April 19th the other year. We had 40 people out there? There should have been 4,000 people out there. God forbid nobody lives downtown Oklahoma. Downtown Oklahoma is weird. It is a weird city if you've never been to Oklahoma City, man. There's no living spaces. It is a weird downtown. There's just kids. It's like the children of the corn. They're on those rentable scooters. But anyway, I like what you're saying. I'm just saying it should happen all the time. Anytime a big event happens, people should be going out in their city and congregating and putting out the knowledge. Like I said, people gather by the tens of thousands every week to watch rigged sports games. They can't come out for all the agendas being waged against humanity.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. Every day, there should be somebody out here talking about this stuff. But like you said, there is power in numbers, and we see like people with these huge followings, they really don't deserve it. They're not spreading any truth. They're just really a waste of time to society. Like, these YouTube guys like, Mr. Beast. He might be doing some charity work here and there, but yeah, we need more than just 30 to 100 people going out on the street. We need thousands at a time, to really make a difference. But I would take like your books out there. I would just give them out for free like you did to people in the past. And I feel like it would just be, I don't know. If I feel like this community, it's not huge, obviously, but there's enough people that are willing to go out and do something like this. I feel like there are. If anybody else wants to like try to organize something, I don't know, reach out to Zach or, even reach out to me. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm really trying to go out and really get the message out.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know when I'm going out to Spokane. I might even go sooner if the air clears up and my mom comes out here because she can help watch Ruby if I am gone for the day. Spokane's about a 2.5-hour drive from where I am, so a 5-hour round trip. You hold on there, Miss Patience. She gets her mama's patience. Hold on here. She inherited mama's patience. Okay. What's up, AC?
No, that's really it for me, though. You're doing a great job. Just keep doing what you're doing.
All right. Hey, thanks for, again, Gematria.effect.highlights on Instagram. Appreciate you doing that.
Yep, no problem.
All right, take care, man. We got Camly. What's up, Camly? I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to mute myself so your audio sounds better.
Okay. No, I just called in because you had brought up Garo, and I know he's been doing that June 11 prediction for like 5 years straight. I just always thought it would be funny, like
five? You mean a decade straight?
Oh no, it's just a estimate. I wasn't sure how long. I know it's been a while, but I just always thought like, what if it did happen like 70 years from now though? Like, because I was thinking like, what if it was somebody in like 1963 that predicted 9/11 and he just couldn't, he just didn't know the exact year.
Campbell, let's slow down. Anything's possible, but remember his hard facts for why, for anyone who doesn't know about this prediction for why Seattle is going to blow up on June 11th, it has to do with because the peninsula looks exactly like Elvis's head. That's part of the research. And you're crazy if you don't see it. And also Elvis's last check in his checkbook was numbered 611. So who could deny it? All right, go ahead, Camly.
No, that's all I had. I just thought it would be funny. Like man, maybe he might be on to something. He just 50 years ahead of his time or something. Because he has a few little 611 connections that are very interesting. And then like you started like just having decodes that start popping up 611s out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, maybe my boy he's on to something. He just a little abstract, but that's all I had when you had reminded me of that when you had brought up Garo earlier, so that's all I wanted.
Well, I'll tell you what, Garo is a ratings monster, and I find Garo to be absolutely hilarious because when he gives you that just serious as cancer, like
that shit funny.
Yeah, when he tells me that I'm just a huge moron because I can't see that the peninsula is Elvis's head, I got to have it again. So Garo has reached out to me and asked if he can come back and do his June 11th, 20. How many people want the Garo June 11th, 2027 presentation? And even if you guys say no, I know you're a bunch of liars because when he comes on, he gets more views than anything. So
right, I'll fuck with it. I'll watch it. I will watch it because hey man, I like numbers anyway, and if you can connect something, I appreciate it. But yeah, I just think you might be a little off sometimes, but you never know, man. You never know. It might have been a Looney Tune dude predicting 9/11 50 years ago.
Let's get some water.
You never know.
All right, Camley.
Yeah, that's all I have,
Appreciate it,
bro.
man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's just funny as hell.
All right, you guys. Sweet Girl and I would normally go to the park at this time, but the park looks like something out of an apocalyptic film, so we'll be staying indoors. You know what we do indoors since we can't go to the pool these days? We just play in the bathtub. So that's probably what we're going to go do. You want to go splish splash? What comes out of the sprinkler? What comes? Yeah, water. What comes out of the sprinkler? What comes out of the sprinkler? Yeah, water. She loves water, you guys. We're probably going to go play in the water. And for all the people saying, it's weird you bring your daughter on the podcast, well, first of all, I have to keep the show going. Second of all, like I've said since way before she even existed, everybody should be standing up for what's right for all the children and unborn generations because look at the world they're inheriting. When we were growing up, what was the sky smoke for 1 month of summer on average? Because now it is. And people want to say it's climate change. You better look into it. Are you sure it's not weather warfare? Are you sure? Sweet girl, can you blow him a kiss? Can you say goodbye? Goodbye. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, even though it's smoky and ugly out here, there's still a reason to smile. The world will get better if we make it better. All it takes, how's it go? All it takes for evil to flourish is for good people to do nothing. If you guys can come out to Spokane when we go out there, hey, show up. Let's get the word out. If there's an entourage, it'll make more people listen. That's the way things work. A crowd attracts eyes and ears. So I will be going out to Spokane. I just it's harder with a child, but I'll have my mom come out here and help out so I can make the trip up there. And maybe I'll go sooner than September 5th. But where do you speak out in Spokane if you're not at the campus? I might have to wait till September 5th because that's when school's back in session. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. Spokane's not like a big hopping town. It's got a nice little downtown area, but it's not real busy. Everything post Cooties 19, people just stay indoors. So it's not like you can go, like when we go to Seattle and go out to Pike Place and set up the speaker. I mean, all the tourists there's a million people to talk to, but it's not like that in Spokane. Okay. Down the wrong pipe? You okay? You want to try that again? Water. Yeah, went down the wrong pipe. No fun. All right, guys. Thanks again, everyone who hits the like and the share. If you missed our call to the sheriff's office didn't pick up, the mayor's office didn't pick up, but the congressman's office picked up, and we had a nice little conversation with the congressman's office. I'm not exactly sure where that was in the stream, but it was early on, and it should be pretty obvious because I'm holding my phone up to the mic. So if you want to hear that, there needs to be more phone calls like that, you guys. And he wasn't acting like I was some crazy person. He was a Catholic himself, and he actually got what I was saying because he knew about Ignatius the Loyalist's quote, "Go forth and set the world on fire." All right, True Seeker. Have a great rest of your day. Until next time.